to stay on for a few more years, but I said, no, I'm not one of these old fogies who doesn't know when to retire.
Then you enjoy being at home, huh, Pop?
Oh, sure. We're having a ball, aren't we, Phyllis?
Oh, yes. All except the dog, that is.
Hope everybody's hungry. Dinner will be ready in a few minutes.
Don't be offended if I don't eat much, Samantha. I've been a little off my feed lately.
Oh, Mrs. Stephens?
We're so looking forward to meeting your mother, Samantha. After all, we really know so very little about her.
Well, I'd say that Mother was a rather difficult person to describe. Unique might be the word, don't you think so, Darrin?
Yes, that would come close.
Michelangelo was 85 when he built the Pauline Chapel in the Vatican.
What was that, Pop?
Michelangelo, 85. Verdi was 80 when he wrote the opera Falstaff. And did you know that Winston Churchill was 77 when they made him prime minister in 51?
What's that got to do with anything?
What? Nothing. I just thought that they were rather interesting facts, that's all. They didn't retire them.
That'll be Mother.
Oh.
That's funny, I don't see any car outside.
Oh, she walks. Loves to walk.
Samantha, my child. Oh, Mother, you look simply divine.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Now, I'd like you to meet Darrin's parents.
Ah.
This is my mother. Mr. Stephens, Mrs. Stephens.
Mrs. Stevens.
How do you
Mr.
do?
Stevens.
Call me Frank.
Frank? Oh, then you must call me Endora. Oh, what a lovely tie. My favorite colors, blue and white.
Oh, do you really like it? Phyllis tried to talk me out of wearing it today. She thought it was too flashy.
You think so? Oh, I think it just matches his piercing blue eyes. How is my favorite son-in-law today?
You look stunning, Endora.
Yes, that's certainly a nifty outfit.
Dinner's almost ready. Why don't we all go in and sit down?
Good. I'm starved. Endora?
Oh, thank you. You know, I always thought my son-in-law was handsome, but now I can see where he gets his good looks.
Mom?
Oh,
She's quite an interesting woman, isn't she?
yes, but I wouldn't worry about that, dear. Samantha probably takes after her father.
I hope you appreciate what an amusing man your husband is, Mrs. Stephens.
Yes. He's a regular Milton Berle.
You know, I just read about this Ethiopian fella in the paper who fathered a child at 82. Now, isn't that amazing?
Not to me. Among my friends, life really just begins at 80.
Endora, you're a card.
Oh, it's nice of you to say so. Tell me more about yourself.
Well, I enjoy going to the theater when I can drag Phyllis out of the house.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't get her to go to a musical.
Oh, don't you like musicals, Mom?
Oh, I think all that singing and dancing depresses her.
Well, I know exactly how you feel. There are times when all that singing and dancing depresses me, too.
Oh, nonsense. It's lively. Endora, what are you doing tomorrow evening? Phyllis and I are going to see a new play. I could manage to rustle up an extra ticket.
Oh, I'd love to.
Good.
Sounds like fun.
Mother, you're forgetting you promised Aunt Clara and Bertha you'd be with them tomorrow evening.
Oh, that's no problem.
Frank, I don't think I'll feel up to going out again tomorrow night.
What do you mean you won't feel like it? Why not?
I'm going to have a headache.
Maybe you could go some other time.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure that Frank will need his rest after the excitement of this evening.
Will you stop treating me as if I'm senile? I made a date and I'm going to keep it. We'll go together. If Phyllis doesn't want to go along, well, save me the bother of getting an extra ticket.
Are you sure you won't change your mind?
No, I'm afraid not, dear. Well, it's getting late. Frank, it's time to go.
Do you really have to leave?
Yes, dear, I'm afraid I feel that headache coming on. Well, it's been so nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Do try not to keep my husband out too late.
Well, perhaps we really should postpone.
Oh, no, I wouldn't hear of it. I've never been one to stand in the way of Frank's fun.
I'm telling you, from the minute that guy walked into the office, it's been one disaster after another.
I know, sweetheart.
It's like he jinxed me. I've never been stuck in an elevator in my whole life.
Well, that's a terrible experience. Mother did that to me once when I...
Say that again?
What?
Your mother...
Oh, no. Now, you can't blame this on her. That happens accidentally sometimes, too.
Yeah, I suppose it does. To normal people with normal mothers-in-law.
You're late.
I ran out of gas, can you believe that? I know, but I filled the tank yesterday.
Oh, there you are.
I apologize, gentlemen. I'm not usually late, but things keep happening.
Never mind, Darrin. Witchett's been showing the layouts.
Layouts? But I left the layouts at home. That's why I had to go back, and when I went back, I ran out of gas, and then it was coming out here, and that's why...
Darrin.
Clever, very clever. I like your ideas, boy. Of course, we'll have to make a few little changes.
Anything you say, sir.
Good afternoon.
Stevens, Mr. Wolf, I'd like to explain...
Don't make waves.
Wait. Look at that thieving note. Larry, I was up all night coming up with this. This is my exact layout.
Which you left at home.
Which I left at home. Therefore, he... Then how could it... How did he...
Black magic, maybe?
Would you believe me if I said yes?
Darrin, you're tired. You need a rest. You've been working too hard. I want you to take the next few days off. And don't worry. Gideon has everything under control.
Yes. And so does Endora. Endora! Endora, come on, I want to talk to you. Endora! I know you're here somewhere. Woo! Endora?
Darrin? Darrin, how come you're home so early?
Mother dear, come out, wherever you are.
Darrin, she's not here, not now.
Oh, yes, she is. She's right here. She's going to make good her threat. She's going to replace me in my job.
Oh, well, Darrin, you're wrong. She's had nothing to do with all of this.
And it won't stop with just him either. Before you know it, the entire agency will be witches. Then the building, then the street. Today, Madison Avenue. Tomorrow, the world.
I know it looks suspicious, but try to keep an open mind for your own sake.
Ah.
Now, wait a minute. Can you honestly assume that just because a young man comes into the office who happens to be clever and efficient...
Efficient? He's a tarantula.
Well, I don't care if he's the Marquis de Sade. Just because you've had some bad luck does not necessarily mean he is a witch.
Not witch, Samantha. Warlock. A term with which you and your relation should be familiar, like dear old cousin Mario.
Darrin, this is dangerous. Do you know what's happening?
Funny. Napoleon was asked the same question just before Waterloo.
The way you're talking, everything bad that happens to you now is witchcraft, right?
You bet your sweet broomstick. Just consider the evidence. Sudden paralyzing inefficiency, being stuck in elevators, hiccup attacks, running out of gas.
With evidence like that, you should have been at Salem.
Searching for straws, am I? Well, then, how do you explain the fact that these layouts right here on the table, young Whitsett had at the office today?
Simple. You discussed it with him.
It could never happen. I only came up with the idea last night. I drew it, and I left it right here on the table. And yet he had it in the office today. Now, how'd he do that, huh? How'd he do it, huh? How?
Darrin Stephens, you stop yelling at me. It's a simple case of... witchcraft?